I always find it interesting when the propaganda that many in the pro-Israel camp say, it's like, oh, you support rapists. Okay, well, we actually have evidence. We have more evidence of the IDF engaging in sexual violence against Palestinians throughout the years than we do vice versa. So, Omri, if you support the IDF, can I say you support rapists? I would actually say that's hyperbolic and not a true statement, because you support the IDF not because there have been IDF soldiers that have engaged in sexual violence. You support them for other reasons, right? So if you yourself aren't going to acknowledge that you support rapists, well, then be a little bit more nuanced and try to understand why.
I agree with you. I wouldn't say that like you should just call people rape supporters. Like, I don't know who this guy is. He doesn't seem like a radical. He seems like a pretty nice guy. But you said that like the IDF has done more sexual violence than Hamas or something like that.
I think there's more there.
In the past.
Look. Sexual violence is very hard to prove. Okay, so I'm not making any conclusive statements, and it's also a very sensitive subject, and sexual violence has caused immense pain. A lot of people immense pain. So I don't want to make light of the situation. But if we look at evidence we have available to us, there is more evidence of IDF committing sexual violence towards Palestinians throughout the years. And again, you could say this is because we're in power, we're the ones detaining them. But there has been more instances and more evidence of it than vice versa. I'm not saying that Hamas did not engage in sexual violence. That's not the claim I'm making. But it's interesting how the propaganda machine works. That's not the claim I'm making. I'm pointing to how the propaganda machine works is when you find instances of sexual violence amongst Hamas, and then you're like, oh, you see, they're rapists, and if you support them, you support rapists. But if you support the IDF, nobody's saying you support. Well, some might. Some say, you support baby killers and rapists. I would say those are two equally hyperbolic statements, and just not the right framing. You have instances of sexual violence from both sides. That's true. But if you take those few instances and attribute that to the organization, then you're just being a propagandist. So I'm just trying to rein that in and allow us to have a more honest conversation. This is not support for Hamas, not support for the IDF. Just I want us to be accurate with how we describe things. I want us to be a little bit less hyperbolic so we could have clearer discussions. That's what I'm saying.
No, I misheard you then. My fault.
Oh yeah, all good.